The Boian culture thrived in the Neolithic period around 4600 to 4300 BCE. This period marks a significant transition from hunter-gatherer societies to more settled agricultural communities. It was primarily located in the central Danube region. The central Danube region includes parts of modern-day Romania, Bulgaria, and Serbia, which were fertile areas for early agriculture. The Boian people were skilled farmers. They cultivated crops such as wheat and barley, which were essential for their subsistence. They also practiced animal husbandry. Domesticated animals like cattle, sheep, and goats provided milk, meat, and hides. Pottery was a prominent craft among the Boian people. Their pottery often featured intricate designs and was used for both practical and ceremonial purposes. Boian settlements were typically small and scattered. These settlements were often composed of a few houses and were not densely populated. Houses were constructed using wattle and daub techniques. Wattle and daub involved weaving branches together and covering them with clay to create sturdy walls. The Boian culture is known for its linear pottery. Linear pottery, characterized by linear patterns, is a hallmark of this culture and is found across various sites. They engaged in trade with neighboring cultures. Trade routes facilitated the exchange of goods, ideas, and technologies with other Neolithic groups. Boian graves often contained personal items. Burial goods such as pottery tools and ornaments were placed with the deceased, indicating beliefs in an afterlife. Religious practices were an integral part of Boian life. Evidence of ritual sites and objects suggests that they had complex spiritual beliefs and practices. The Boian culture influenced later Neolithic cultures. Elements of Boian culture, such as pottery styles and farming techniques, were adopted by subsequent societies. Boian settlements were often near rivers. Proximity to water sources was crucial for agriculture, fishing, and transportation. They used flint tools extensively. Flint was a versatile material used to make various tools, including knives, scrapers, and arrowheads. Boian pottery often featured geometric patterns. Geometric designs such as zigzags and spirals were common and may have had symbolic meanings. The Boian people lived in a transitional period between Mesolithic and Neolithic. This period saw the gradual shift from nomadic lifestyles to more settled agricultural communities. Boian settlements were often fortified. Fortifications such as palisades and ditches were built to protect against potential threats. They had a hierarchical social structure. Social stratification is evident from the differences in burial goods and the size of dwellings. Boian culture is part of broader linear pottery culture. The linear pottery culture, or linear band ceramic (LBK), was a widespread Neolithic culture in Central Europe. Boian people used bone tools. Bone was another important material for making tools, such as needles and awls. They engaged in fishing and hunting. Fishing and hunting supplemented their diet, providing additional protein sources. Boian settlements were often seasonal. Some settlements were occupied only during certain times of the year, reflecting a semi-nomadic lifestyle. They had a diverse diet. Their diet included a variety of plant and animal products, ensuring a balanced nutrition. Boian pottery was often fired in open pits. Open pit firing allowed for the creation of durable and functional ceramic vessels. The Boian culture had a strong artistic tradition. Artistic expressions, such as painted pottery and carved figurines, were an important part of their cultural identity. They used natural pigments for decoration. Natural pigments derived from minerals and plants were used to create colorful designs on pottery and other objects. Boian settlements were often located on higher ground. Elevated locations provided better defense and drainage, which were crucial for settlement sustainability. They had a complex system of kinship and family ties. Kinship and family relationships played a central role in organizing social and economic activities. Boian people were skilled weavers. Textiles made from plant fibers and animal hair were used for clothing and household items. They used grinding stones for food preparation. Grinding stones or querns were essential for processing grains and seeds. Boian culture had a significant impact on the development of agriculture. Their farming techniques and crop cultivation methods contributed to the spread of agriculture in Europe. They had a deep understanding of the local environment. Knowledge of local flora and fauna was crucial for their survival and resource management. Boian settlements were often surrounded by farmland. Agricultural fields were located close to settlements to facilitate easy access and management. They used clay for various purposes. Clay was used not only for pottery but also for construction and other practical applications. Boian people had a rich oral tradition. Oral traditions, including stories and songs, were likely passed down through generations. They had a system of trade and exchange. Trade networks allowed for the exchange of goods and resources, enhancing their economic stability. Boian settlements were often organized in clusters. Clusters of settlements provided mutual support and defense. They had a sophisticated tool-making industry. Tool-making involved a range of materials and techniques, reflecting advanced craftsmanship. Boian people had a strong sense of community. Community bonds were strong, as evidenced by shared burial practices and communal activities. They used wooden structures for various purposes. Wood was used to build houses, storage facilities, and other structures. Boian culture had a distinct architectural style. Their architectural style, characterized by rectangular houses and communal buildings, was unique to the region. They used stone axes for various tasks. Stone axes were used for cutting wood, clearing land, and other heavy-duty tasks. Boian settlements were often planned. Settlement layouts suggest a degree of planning and organization in their construction. They had a system of land management. Land management practices ensured the sustainable use of resources and the maintenance of agricultural productivity. Boian people had a deep connection to the natural world. Their way of life was closely tied to the rhythms of nature, influencing their beliefs and practices. They used animal bones for tools and ornaments. Animal bones were repurposed into various tools and decorative items, showcasing their resourcefulness. Boian culture had a significant impact on the development of European prehistory. The Boian culture's contributions to agriculture, technology, and social organization influenced the broader Neolithic period in Europe.